Welcome back to the update. I'm your host, Ashlyn Gerbaz. CMU and PAC are putting together a Mavs on the Main Friday, April 21st. The event will be held at the Mesa Theater and is free for CMU students with their Mav card. To best describe it, it's a Grand Junction music festival, featuring bands like Suckerfish, Sobear, and Taurus, and celebrating the homecoming of Zoloft after 3 weeks on an East Coast tour. The doors will open at 5 and the show starts at 6. As I mentioned last week, in celebration of National Parks Week, all national park access will be free. I realize that some people don't know what national parks are close to Grand Junction, aside from the National Monument. There are so many amazing places to visit just minutes away. Arches National Park is one of those, and you can be sure to see me on those trails this weekend. Arches is just an hour and a half from Grand Junction in Utah and so worth the visit. White River National Forest is just an hour and a half in the opposite direction in Glenwood Springs, with mountains, rivers, and trees. And taking it close to my home, Rocky Mountain National Park is just 2 hours away in the beautiful Aspen, Colorado. The aspen leaves are starting to bloom, and you won't want to miss a green day in Aspen. There's rivers to float, the punch bowl to jump off of, and Independence Pass to drive up to. Overall, get some friends together and take advantage of the free weekend in some Colorado and Utah's most beautiful places. Whether you're a senior trying to figure out what to do with the rest of your life or a sophomore just trying to get your stats grade up, the last few weeks are stressfully upon us. We have just 4 weeks left in this semester, and then comes traveling, working, and missing all our amazing college friends. Our motivation is dropping, and we honestly don't know how we'll make it through to finals week. I went to hercampus.com and the Odyssey to find some tips on surviving the last few weeks. I found that the Odyssey article was more based on humor and physical things you can do, while on the Her Campus article, it was based pretty much on your mind and how you can stay healthy, which made a pretty good little list. Obviously, we want to party nonstop and avoid the stress, but choose to go out less these next few weeks. A bad party isn't worth it, especially a bad party on a Thursday. Maybe a few months ago, when your grades were still up, going to a party in the middle of the week wasn't the worst idea. But now we have finals coming up, and spending a Saturday night ordering pizza and having a study night with friends will be much better for you and your grades in the long run. Try doing any grocery shopping early. A trip to the mall can go from buying Keurig cups at Target to hitting up the latest Victoria's Secret sale. When finals are upon us and you need to be studying, getting distracted can be the worst thing to do. And also turn off your phone in the library or wherever you study. I find myself scrolling through social media when I should be studying, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. Just by simply turning off your phone and sticking it in your backpack will reduce distractions immensely. And if you're anything like me and like to take a social media break, be sure to put a timer on it so you don't spend 2 hours looking through Twitter when you should be only spending 15 minutes. And lastly, sleep is such a beautiful thing and so important. I know we think we need to be spending our precious sleeping hours studying instead, but that's not good for your overall health. Instead of pulling an all-nighter, spend the time you have in between classes to study. It may only be 40 minutes, but reviewing that in that time will still help. Also make study plans with friends if you need extra motivation to get to the library. Sometimes during finals we forget that our health by eating poorly and never sleeping. Try to avoid treating your body like this as best as you can. A story revealing a married couple discovering they were brother and sister shocked and grossed out the internet, but the story was later revealed to be a hoax. The Mississippi Herald revealed a story last week telling the story of a couple whose DNA test at a fertility clinic came back as them being related. This wasn't even a fabricated story. It was a fictional story because the couple didn't even exist. The story also ran, but was soon deleted by Fox News, the Daily Mail, The Sun, and over 5 other news sources. The Mississippi Herald is not a trusted news source because it is often linked with fake news stories and also less than a year old. Daily Mail commented on the source saying its stories sound like a Wikipedia article run through Google Translate. This is one of the news stories you'd see on Twitter or on Facebook with a catchy byline, so it is not a news source you should ever turn on. Besides the Mississippi Herald, other undependable news sources include the Alabama Observer, Boston Leader, and Denver Inquirer. Thanks for tuning in to the update this week. We won't be having a press conference this week, but recently re-elected ASU President Ben Lizzie. But be sure to congratulate him and Gabby Guile if you see them around. Have an excellent week, Mavs. This is your host, Ashlyn Gerbaz, signing off.